Hello guys, my name is Philip, and today I want to talk about instant gratification and external validation. And it's actually a topic that I've been wanting to touch on ever since like day 20. It's one of those videos that I just haven't made. But yeah, I want to talk about it today, and it comes in various forms. And I'm gonna talk about in this video actually about men and women. I talk a lot about men, and I'm gonna start focusing a bit more on women in future videos, I think, because there is a kind of negative development going on with women in today's society, as well as young men. There's something happening to young women as well, I think, that's not really in the right direction. And the thing is, it's not about pornography, and I keep reminding myself about this as well, because I actually keep forgetting. But I like to be really philosophical about these things. And the thing is, pornography isn't the problem, it's a manifestation of the problem. Now, I want to talk about one of the actual problems today, which is, as I said, instant gratification and external validation and abundance of it, and the accessibility of it in today's high technological society. Now, what do guys do to get instant gratification? Well, they watch pornography. How is that instant gratification? Well, the thing about the masculine sexuality that you have to understand is it goes outwards. We want to penetrate, we want to fertilize, right? So when we watch a bunch of hot women on the screen, it's actually tricking our neurochemistry and our reward circuitry to think that we're actually fertilizing these women, we're actually penetrating these women. And our sort of natural built-in neurochemistry and reward circuitry in our brains is actually thinking that we're like the fucking Genghis Khan, because we're fucking so many women and we are spreading our genes all around the world. And you know, we're fucking Latinos, we're fucking blacks, we're fucking whites, we're fucking Chinese women, you know, all of these hot babes from all around the globe that we see on pornography. We are making babies with them, right? According to our reward circuitry, which is why our reward circuitry wants us to keep doing it. It releases dopamine, which makes delta fos-b accumulate in our brains, which makes us appreciate pornography more and appreciate everything else in life less. Gary Wilson explained this in his, really well in his TED Talk, that once delta fos-b accumulates in your brain, it makes it so that you appreciate or you value the thing that made the delta fos-b get there more, and you value everything else in life less. In the case of pornography addiction, that is, you value pornography more and everything else in life gets sort of gray and boring. Now, why do we have this reward circuitry? Why do we have this these things in our nerves, in our brains? Well, because in caveman days, this was very beneficial for us, evolutionary, because it actually made us reproduce. It actually made us, you know, keep the human race surviving. But in today's society, we have technology that messes this up. In the case of pornography, that messes up our idea of sex, sort of, because it as I said, it tricks our reward circuitry to think that we're having sex, but we're not having sex. So what it then creates, because of all this dopamine, because of all this delta fos-b, it creates a present hedonistic mentality in young men, that, oh my god, this pornography is so awesome, I want to just keep jerking off, and then you release, I'd say you waste dopamine, and you are sort of making everything else in your life more boring for no reason, because you're not actually spreading your genes, you're not actually making babies, you're just wasting your life, basically. So, Mother Nature didn't really expect this technology to come along, and technology has gone much faster than evolution. So therefore we still have this reward circuitry, which is not really for our advantage anymore when we have all these really addictive things. Now, what about women? How do they get instant gratification? Well, I was reading a really funny thing in Man Interrupted, which is kind of why I've decided to make this video now, because I get so inspired by reading that book. It's insane. I love that book. I'm almost done with it now, actually. But anyways, I was reading a funny thing. There was a big sister. I don't know where she wrote this, on a forum or something. There was a big sister who was kind of concerned about her little sister, because her little sister kept taking selfies in the mirror before she went to bed, and then posting it on Facebook saying that she was going to a party. So she lied, but she convinced her Facebook friends that she had a life, she had lots of friends, and she was going to parties and, living the Hollywood lifestyle, and she took all these glorious selfies in her mirror with all this fantastic makeup and this haircut that she spent 2 hours, prepping herself up, and then she just went to bed afterwards. So all of that work, all of that makeup, all of that, glorification of herself was only so that she could get likes and positive comments on Facebook and on social medias. That's also instant gratification. Now, what this generally creates for both genders and for society as a whole is it creates a society where people don't go out and meet each other anymore. People don't interact with each other. People don't try to work hard on themselves to get compliments from one another. Because when awesome sex is a few clicks away and infinite amounts of attention and appreciation is just a selfie away, why would you ever go on dates? Why would you ever try to meet a person of the opposite sex in real life to get that? You don't need it. You have two choices, right? You can get 100 likes per picture on Facebook, or you can have one guy telling you that you're cute. What's funny about this thing is that one guy is gonna make you so much more happy than infinite amounts of likes and comments on social medias will ever be able to do. Yet, it seems less desirable because it's much less accessible. The same goes for men. You have two choices for a guy. You can have a beautiful wife, but she's probably just gonna have sex with you once every third day or something. Or you can have infinite amounts of sexual pleasure on the internet, on Pornhub, on X videos, right? And it's the same thing again. That beautiful wife is gonna make you extremely, infinitely more happy than any amounts of porn can ever do. Yet pornography seems more desirable because it's more accessible. And I don't think I even need to explain why that's damaging to society. It disconnects us. It's needless to say that it disconnects us, because we don't even need each other anymore. And needing each other is sort of a good thing. And we have all this independent people now. We have, MGTOW, and then we have feminism, radical feminism that is, on the other side, both of which are really into this, I don't need a woman. That's MGTOW. That's I don't need a woman. I'll do everything myself. I'll, build a business and my entire sex life is going to be on the internet because today's women are not worth pursuing, they're all retarded, duh. Right? And then you have these radical feminists on the other side. Masculinity is toxic, they're all beating each other up, men are so bad. I'm gonna shave my head and dye it red and then make myself miserable and pretend that I'm lesbian because men suck. What the fuck is going on? I think much of this is, to some extent, and I know I'm sort of bending the reality to fit my narrative here to a certain extent, but I hope you will also understand what I mean by this. I think a lot of this is more than we know, or more than we realize. It's because of all this instant gratification that is making us believe that we don't need each other, even though we sort of do, because it's actually statistically proven, naturally proven. You don't even have to look at statistics, you just have to look at nature. People who are in love, who have been together for a long period of time, and who have a relationship that works romantically, economically, and, friendshiply, they are much more happy than people who spend their entire lives alone. So, if you spend your whole life convincing yourself that you don't need anyone, you don't need any romance, you don't need any friendship, you don't need any of it. You'll just, work on yourself and get all this paper money with numbers on it that's supposed to be worth something. Only to realize when you're about 50 years old that shit, I'm fucking miserable. I have a gigantic number on my bank account, but it ain't worth shit because I'm not being loved. And I got sort of off track here, talking about MGTOW and feminism, but the whole point is this mentality, this present hedonistic mentality, and also this instant gratification, and also this convincing ourselves that we don't need each other bullshit. It's making us disconnected, it's making us miserable, and it's making us deeply, deeply unhappy, and it's destroying society as a whole. So it's funny how social media could be abused, because I think social media is fantastic. I think social media is absolutely amazing, but I also want to acknowledge, and I also want other people to acknowledge, that it can be abused. Meaning, social media can connect us, but if you abuse it, you might actually end up disconnecting with your friends using social medias. Because you don't actually have to meet them in real life. You can just, post a picture, post a cute little selfie, and then get all the attention in the entire world. So you don't really have to go out anymore. And I'm not saying that selfies are bad, although I sort of think they are, but that's besides the point. All I'm saying is, if you do this too much in comparison to meeting people in real life and connecting in real life, you're gonna end up not really... You're gonna end up somewhere down the line realizing that getting attention on Facebook, getting attention, sort of artificial attention on social medias, isn't worth as much as real attention and real connection. So I really want to just make this video for both men and women, young women and young men, that is, mostly, millennials and, what am I, Generation X or some shit? You know who I'm talking about, teenagers and like up to 30 years old. The social media generation, basically. I want to make this video for those. Just saying that, be careful, because I know this sounds crazy, maybe. I don't think it sounds crazy, to be completely honest. A lot of you are probably not going to think it sounds crazy. But social media can actually be abused. And pornography, needless to say at this point, can definitely also be abused. And as I said in my last videos, in the case of pornography, on the contrary of social medias, I don't think there's anything good about pornography. I think social medias could be good, definitely. I think cell phones are fantastic. But I also think it can be abused. In the case of pornography, it can only be abused, really. There's nothing good about pornography. There's no such thing as just using pornography as just, you know, checking in on my sex drive, kind of. Like, I don't know. But you know what I mean. But they can both be abused. And you have to be careful about it. And you have to be careful to just not find yourself like like this little sister in that book, Man Interrupted, who just posts a bunch of selfies in the mirror, then goes to bed, convincing her Facebook friends that she's actually going out partying. That's like the lowest point for women, I think. The lowest point for a man would be being in extreme social anxiety and just watching more and more porn, to the point where you're afraid to even go out the door. That would be the lowest point for a man. And I just don't want more people to end up like that. Because I've sort of gone down that road myself. I've not actually reached the lowest point yet, or ever, but I was on my way there until I found out about NoFap. And I want people who are like on this downward road, I want them to just, you know, get up, you know. That's what I want to do, and that's why I'm making these videos. So hopefully this was interesting to you. Hopefully it was helpful. And yeah, I will post more, as I always say, and as I always do. Hey, thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll be back with more. Thank you.